racetrack. Underneath Kenseth. On the outside, Biffle. Ford's 3 wide for 3rd spot.
Boy, and that's 3 Roush cars right there, all on top of each other. And there goes Kenseth. Kenseth in the wall.
Kane high, McMurray low. And Kenseth limps down the back straightaway as we try to stay green.
Boy, watch Johnson on that high side. He's going to get a heck of a run right here. He's looking under Tony. Tony blocks. That high line can really pay off on the corner exit.
3 to go. Kenseth continues back of the pack, but on the lead lap.
It's like Johnson in the 48 gets a better run off the corner, and that lets him get to the next set of corners a little bit quicker than Stewart.
Well, we heard Tony say my car really is awesome getting in the corner. This is the turn 3 and 4 is where you can really make up some ground on the outside.
The big winner in that dust-up was Ryan Newman, who emerged in 4th place behind Greg Biffle. 2 to go.
That 14 car, though, he comes out of the bottom. He comes up out of that hole pretty stout.
Jimmy Johnson trying everything he can. He went all the way to the top of the racetrack that time to try to get the run down the back straightaway.
And you can see Jimmy closes down the straightaway with the momentum of coming off the corner, but he loses too much time. Now he's going to go to the bottom. That's a great move.
But he drove it down into turn 3 that time, Darrell. It just wouldn't quite stick like he needed it to.
Tony's car is just a little bit better. It's just good enough. You're not going to pass him.
White flag. Jimmy Johnson won here on a last lap pass in 2006. But he trails Stewart by 3 car lengths out of 2.
Yeah, that 14 is just too strong up off the bottom of the corner. Jimmy tried everything he could, but 14 is just stout.
Turn 4, final time. Johnson arcs high, brings it down low. The defending Sprint Cup champion Tony Stewart makes it a smoke show in Vegas and wins the Cobalt Tools 400.
There, Ryan Newman in that 39 car. He'd been chipping away all day long, finished 4th.
Boyer in the 15, he ended up 6th. Great run, and Paul Menard stopped and got tires. Restarted 18th, and he finished up in 7th spot. Great run by Menard.
Steve Addington gets his first win with Tony Stewart, that 14 team.
Tony Stewart has now won 6.
Great job, our bud.
6 of the last 30s.
So the combination of Stewart, he's continuing to win. Grubb, he goes somewhere else. He continues to win. The dominance continues.
Stewart tuned up for the weekend by doing a little dirt track racing Thursday. Started 7th and passed Matt Kenseth as the all-time lap leader at Las Vegas Motor Speedway late in this race.
Well, nobody will have to explain to him this year how they lost this race.
No,
because he drove off and left them.
It's redemption. And this marks the 14th year in a row in which Tony Stewart has won a Sprint Cup race.
It's amazing. Good stuff.
You know, the Roush Fenway teammates worked really well at Daytona, but on this last restart, the 3 Fords got to battling each other. Watch the 16, 17, and 99 here.
Yeah, they're all rotted up here, and it starts when the 99 Carl Edwards goes to the apron. Right here, he really puts the 17 in a box. Biffle on the outside. Right here, they're going to be some contact.
But here comes Kane with a run, and McMurray. Ooh.
You know what? That's actually Kane sucked the back of that 17 around. The teammates were really clean.
Kane in that 5, I saw him. He had such a run through the middle of 1 and 2.
Yeah, he just went outside there and sucked the 17 right around, there.
Yeah, he got that little bump from Matt. He hit the wall too.
Yeah.
But Kane managed to make it around and finish 19th.
Oh, by the way, Tony's still doing burnouts. He's going all around the place.
Yeah, Matt Kenseth ended up finishing 22nd in his 17 car.
Tony is now doing what Alan Kulwicki invented, the self-described Polish victory lap. Driver's side to the crowd and salute the fans.
Both Stewart Haas cars in the top 5, guys.
On a day we were all springing forward, 40-year-old Tony Stewart turns back the hands of time and into victory lane, the earliest he's won a race. This is the 3rd race of the season. What does that say? Usually a strong finisher at the end of the year. Thumbs up for Tony Stewart, who led the most laps and outdueled Jimmy Johnson, held him off at the end. A battle between two of the greatest drivers in NASCAR history. A couple of Hall of Famers when their time comes. And Tony in victory lane. Let's go down there with Matt Yoakum.
And Tony Stewart rolls into victory lane for the first time in his career at Las Vegas. Second time he's ever won in the month of May. And what a way he did it in dramatic fashion. Great job. He says, I'm coming, I'm coming. The guys in the back ready to start celebrating. And what way to win than in dramatic fashion like he did at Las Vegas. And no place ever owes a driver anything, but Tony, after the domination and disappointment a year ago, and especially with that guy coming on board, what's it mean to finally win at Las Vegas?
Oh, man. Especially the way we lost it last year. I mean, we had a dominant car last year, and I don't know that we had the dominant car today, but, you know, we just were so strong on restarts. Just Mobile One, Office Depot, Chevrolet, you know, Sprint, all of our fans, just, you know, Quicken Loans, U.S. Army, just everybody, you know, GoDaddy, everybody that's a part of Stewart Haas Racing, and especially the Hendrick engine department, chassis department. That was the whole key to the restart today.
You always like putting a check mark next to a place. Dominant crew chief on the box. The only thing more dominant, though, was that move going down into turn one on the restart. Did that even impress you?
I had to go, man. I mean, I knew that Matt had 4 tires, and you know, Greg and those guys had better tires than we did. So I knew as long as we could get the clean air, we could at least hold them off for a little bit. I just didn't know we were going to be able to hold them off the whole run.
All right, the 14 victory lane finally in Las Vegas. Dick Berggren.
Jimmy Johnson, the look on your face said it all. Second ain't no good.
No, but with everything we went through this weekend, we'll take it. But man, I want to win. We're close. I think we had maybe a little bit more speed, but Tony could really get away on those restarts up through the gears a lot better than I could. So I've got to look into that and see if it was something I was doing wrong or something else going on there. But solid performance. I've got to stop and make mention of what Lowe's is doing with the disaster relief fund and the fact that we finished so well. They're going to put up a bunch of money for all the tornado victims. Myself and Hendrick Motorsports going to match that as well. So great day in a lot of ways. I wish we could have this Cobalt Chevrolet over in Victory Lane, but just didn't happen. I want to say hi to my wife and daughter at home, and see you guys soon.
Congratulations on a fine run. Thank you.
Thanks, Jimmy and Dick, with Michael Waltrip here in the Hollywood Hotel. Well, redemption in Las Vegas. That doesn't happen for a lot of people. For Tony Stewart, he was the king of the restarts today. But how about that battle towards the end? I mean, Jimmy was giving it all he had. Tony held on.
That's 2 world-class drivers on the gas. They wanted that victory so bad. Tony Stewart held off a determined Jimmy Johnson. My heart was beating 100 miles an hour, Chris, because I know how bad they wanted to win, and I know that there isn't any better drivers in NASCAR than those 2 right now.
8 championships between them. They'll be in the mix again. In the mix towards the end of the race, as we illustrated, was the Jack Roush Ford drivers colliding. And let's go now to Krista, who is standing by with 2 of those.
Yeah, Chris, standing between teammates Carl Edwards and Greg Biffle. Tell me about those last laps. Obviously battling teammates, and there was another Roush Fenway car in the mix too, and we're going to show it to you right now.
Yeah, I just got down in there, and I was on the top, and Carl was digging on the bottom. I could see him right up on my quarter panel. I was just easing up the track a little bit, giving him room, and I got a pretty good run off the corner, and I don't know what happened behind me, so it was pretty bad behind me. I don't know exactly what happened back there.
Okay, not the win, but you are the points leader. Let's get the take from your teammate, Carl Edwards. What happened?
Well, Matt spun his tires just a little bit on the restart, and I went down on the apron. He gave me a ton of room, and we got all bunched up over there. But I got to thank Aflac for being on board. Fastenal, Ford, Subway, Kellogg's, UPS, and Best Buy. And we were not that good at the beginning of the race. It was fun to battle all day, fun to race at this place. It's slick, it's fun, and I'm glad we could at least see the winner up there. That was a good time.
Strong day for Roush Fenway. Steve?
Well, Matt Kenseth, tell us what happened on the backstretch on that last restart.
I honestly don't really know. I mean, Carl just laid back and, got by me 3 wide, and then just didn't seem like there's a lot of room getting into one. And I did get clear behind him, and I just stopped in the middle of the corner. I don't really know what happened. I got into him a little bit, and then I don't know if I got there, pulled off my right side, or really honestly what happened. So I thought I got a good start. I was right with Tony. I didn't lay back on Tony, and, they always do that then. It's just you got to be ready for that. So I don't really know what I did up there.
Thank you, Matt.
Yep.